My name is Santosh. So I'm going to teach you engineering mathematics. So I've written my GATE examination in the year 2012, where I've secured an All India GATE rank of 286. So it is long back, maybe 7 years before that. So very excited to start the course of engineering mathematics over here. I'm sure that you're also waiting for the same thing, right? So after writing my GATE and securing a rank of 286, so I worked as a trainee scientist through the GATE score only. I got recruited as a trainee scientist in Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. And after that I realized that the teaching field is so interesting, so passionate. In fact, I was very passionate towards the teaching, which ultimately landed here in the GATE Academy. Right. So for the past 4 years, I'm associated with GATE Academy as a faculty. So welcome to the classes. And I'm sure that it's going to be a very enjoyable experience learning multiple subjects over here and preparing for the GATE examination. And let me tell you, I think we all have a common aim. As a teacher myself and as a student yourself, we have a single common aim to secure an excellent GATE rank. By meaning of excellent GATE rank, the rank should be less than 50 or at max 100. That is what our target has to be, and that is how we have to prepare. So if I ask you a question that whether the GATE examination is easy or difficult or moderate, what is your answer? So I have a series of questions for you. So I'm starting with this one. So is the examination an easy exam or a difficult exam or somewhere in the moderate? How do you actually see the GATE examination? I can see that very few students are treating it as an easy examination. And some students feel it easy but provided the conditions applied. And some feel that it is really tough. Right, so yeah, it is all about your perspective. That's what the intention behind the question is, that to understand the perspective. Right. I'll be answering this question shortly about my perspective above it, because I came to know about your perspective. I'll give my perspective. But before that, in case if you don't know about the pattern of the GATE examination, how it goes, it is something like this. We're going to have 65 questions, out of which 30 questions are 1 mark questions and 35 questions are 2 mark questions. There are two categories of questions. One is numerical entry question, the other is a multiple choice question. So numerical entry questions, you don't have any negative marking, whereas in the case of multiple choice questions, you're going to have negative marking, which is 1/3. If it's a 1 mark question, it's going to be -1/3. If it's a 2 mark question, it's going to be -2/3. Now, coming to the weightage, there are 3 types of subjects. One is general aptitude, which is going to have a weightage of 15%. Means out of 100 marks, you're going to have a weightage of 15%. Right? Engineering mathematics, in many of the streams, in the case of electronics and communications, okay, electrical, mechanical, civil, instrumentation. So in all these streams, the weightage is around 15. Sometimes it comes to 14, sometimes it comes to 13. So overall, I can say that the weightage is going to vary between 13 to 15 marks as far as engineering mathematics is concerned. Now when it comes to the computer science, the weightage will be around 8 marks because of the fact that you have one more mathematics called as discrete mathematics. Right, so the weightage, if you observe for mathematics part, is going to be around 15 marks. Okay, only in the case of computer science you have, because the syllabus is going to come down. We will see the syllabus shortly, then you'll come to know. because the syllabus is less, so therefore even the weightage is going to be less. But for the remaining streams, it's going to be around 15 marks. General aptitude part is 15 marks. Mathematics is around 15 marks. It means that 30 marks, and you know that the qualifying marks of the gate is also around the 30 marks. Okay, now coming to your core subjects, so the weightage is going to be around 70 marks or 70 to 72 marks. So this is what is the gate exam all about. So with my experience of seeing the gate paper so many times and guiding students for so many years, so I've seen that there are three very important things as far as gate questions are concerned. So the very first thing is the concept. So what is the concept? So for example, we are given a particular question. If you are able to understand the question clearly, it means that your concept is fine. Because sometimes what happens, if you don't understand it clearly, you make mistakes. So therefore, if you are able to understand the question which is given clearly, it means that your concept is fine. I will tell you what all the things you're going to do to develop the concept. And second thing is the logic. So logic means that if you see, the gate is going to be graduate aptitude test for engineers, isn't it? It's a graduate aptitude test for engineers. It means that the gate examination is meant to test your abilities of thinking more than memory, more than concept. It is more a logic oriented examination where your thinking is going to be tested. Probably in the case of mechanical, I have observed that it is more a sort of a memory based examination, more conceptual in nature. But apart from that, mostly it's going to be a logic based examination. So whenever it is a logic based examination, probably to start with, when you're starting your preparation, your logic is not so sound because you don't understand the nature of the gate questions that have been asked. So once you understand the nature of the questions, you practice it, and slowly you will get the confidence of able to think in the right approach. And of course, so to solve a problem, we apply the formula. So logic and formula I'm going to keep in the same bracket. And it doesn't end there. You have to get the right answer. To get the right answer, you have to do the calculations as well. And you have to check the units which is asked. For example, the question is about power, but in the brackets it is mentioned that it is milliwatts. But you are getting the answer in watts, you are answering it in watts, which is wrong. So even though you have done everything correct, but still you are losing your marks. So all these three things are very vital things as far as the gate examination is concerned. So first thing we are going to discuss about the concept. So what are the things you're going to do to develop your concepts? And I'm sure that many of you have attended the class with a point of view that you have to understand the things better from the classes when compared to studying on your own. Because the gate examination is slightly different. It has its own pattern. So if you are guided by the experts, then it becomes much more easier to learn the things and to be more focused on those things from where the gate questions are consistently asked. And the approach is going to be there. So I'm sure that many of you have believed in the same thing, that you can learn much better in the classes by attending classes than preparing by your own. I'm not saying that the second one is a bad approach. It is also a good approach, but provided you are confident about how to prepare. Right, so concept is something which is very important because each and every question is going to have the concept behind it, irrespective of which subject we are learning. So to learn concept, the very first thing is that to be regular in the classes, because you have believed that you can learn many things here by attending. Second thing is that write the notes. Write clear notes I expect you to write the notes, which happens many times, right? You're going to write the notes. But to write the notes which is very clear requires a proper attention. Okay, sometimes we will be very casual in writing a notes which is not so good. Because if you are serious, you have to write a clear notes, because once we complete the engineering mathematics, I will disappear. So the engineering mathematics from then on, you will be learning from your notes. So your notes is going to be the very first reference book as far as the GATE examination is concerned. You have to write a very strong notes, a very clear notes. So that is the second thing. Third thing is strategy for revision. So I have seen that many of you have responded that once your concepts are clear, the GATE examination is going to seem to be easy. Which is correct, provided it is followed up with the practice. So once you have your concepts clear and along with that you have practiced enough, then you will understand that the GATE exam is much easier when compared to what we thought before. Right? So to get that confidence with the concepts, you should have an effective strategy for revision. Why revision is very important in the GATE examination is because we are having plenty of subjects in our syllabus. At least 10 of them in many of the streams. Few subjects might be very important when compared to the others, but if you count the number of subjects, it is at least 10. And in some of the streams like electrical, it is going to cross 10. Electrical and civil, whatever it is. So, whenever we are studying the engineering mathematics or any subject for that matter, you have to understand from where the questions are going to be asked. There will be some focus areas in each and every subject from where the questions are going to be framed. This is something you have to catch, and by the end of the chapter you have to come to know that what are the topics which are more important when compared to the others. And then you have to, after one time revision, when you are revising it for the second time, then you have to write your short notes. Because what happens when you are revising for the first time, then you will try to grasp the things which are there in your notes, which has to happen. And when you are doing it for the second time, suggestively the second time has to happen when we are actually studying the subject. So during your second time, you have to write something called as short notes, which includes all the important things in the chapters and in the subjects. And the number of pages you're going to write the short notes should not cross 15 for a single chapter, for a single subject. For a single subject, it should not cross 15 pages. It means that the short note should be really short for the subject. Maybe when you are writing your proper notes, the number of pages is going to cross somewhere around 300 to 400. So once you are able to condense it to a very short notes, the ease of revision is going to increase. And you can carry it whenever you want. Even when you are traveling, you can do the revision. And you will come to know exactly from where the questions are going to be asked. And your focus is more on those particular parts which are important for the examination. That is how, you can have a short notes. And the second thing is that when your other subjects are going to start, you should not lose touch with the subjects that have been completed before. For example, subject 2 has started, then you should not be losing touch with the subject 1. And because you have written a short notes, it is easier for you to revise the things. Provided you have at least done 2 revisions, and while doing the second revision, you have to write the short notes. And second revision has to be done before completion of the subject itself. And preferably, after completing a chapter, you can do the second revision, going through the chapter. Each and every day after completion of the classes, I believe that you have to go home and revise and see what exactly we have seen in the class. And when the chapter has been completed, then you have to do the second revision of the entire chapter. And while doing the entire chapter, you can write your short notes. So when you have started your second subject, because you have already done 2-time revision, I think many of the concepts are already inside you. When you revise it further, then it becomes very easy for you to remember things. What you are basically trying to do is that you are going to push the concepts from your short-term memory onto the long-term memory, and you are only taking those focus areas into your memory. Not everything that you are studying, but those focus areas from where consistently the questions are going to come from. So please maintain, maybe you can write your short notes in an A4 size paper, and after completing the short notes of a particular subject, you can have a photocopy of it, the soft copy of it, and you can carry the soft copy with you wherever you're going. For example, you're traveling somewhere, okay, so in that particular case also you can easily open it and you can revise it. So in that way, you can maintain touch with the subjects that have been completed, which is the most important thing as far as the GATE examination is concerned. And the students who are told that, I really appreciate it, because you have caught the right important thing. Right? So if you are able to maintain touch with the concepts that have been completed, GATE examination is going to sound a little bit more easy. Once you feel that, okay, many people have different strategies, but it's a wrong strategy to think that, okay, I will complete the subjects first of all one by one, and at last I will have time where I will go through all the subjects. But actually what is going to happen is that you will completely lose touch of the initial subjects. Okay, so time and again when the second subject has started, you should have some amount of time that has to be invested for the first subject. And similarly, when the third subject has started, then you have to maintain touch with the first and the second subject. And you have to be focusing more on the second subject because already you have done very good revision on the first subject. And whenever your time permits, you have to take 1 or 2 problems and solve it, which ensures that you are very much in touch, because once you solve the problems, you are more connected with it. Once you are trying to solve the problems, you are more connected with it. And that is the reason why, right, you will have some very good confidence going in. So to do all these things, you require discipline, you require motivation. Motivation, I feel, is the most important thing. I think when you have taken the admissions, okay, when you thought that, okay, we will take an admission for the GATE examination, okay, we will be preparing for it, I'll be doing very well. And you have some specific targets, right? Whether it is about going to higher education for IITs, for research, for MTech, for PhD, or if you are thinking about the jobs, okay, so there are so many number of jobs available through the GATE examination. So whatever your aim is, you have to carry with you each and every day, and you have to be motivated enough, because I'm already seeing so many points from the students that maintaining the balance between the college life, whatever you're going to undergo in the colleges, and the GATE examination is very important. I do agree with this. And same with the thing with the top working professionals who are also thinking to prepare for the GATE examination. It is equally important for you to ensure there is a balance between both of them. And I feel for the students it is always more easier when compared to the working professionals, because working professionals means that whatever you are undergoing through your work is much different when compared to your GATE preparation in many cases. But whereas in the college life, if you are doing, okay, whatever branch you are from, the GATE examination, I believe you are going to write for the same curriculum itself. Okay, if you are from EC, you are going to write the GATE examination from EC only. So you are more connected to the GATE examination when compared to the people who are working professionals. So I do agree that you have to maintain, whether it is about college students, college going students, you have to maintain the balance between both of them. Or when you are talking about the working professionals, again the same thing comes in. So maintaining balance is very crucial. It means that you have to be motivated enough, even though you have a stressful college, but still you are able to maintain at least 3 hours of time. Okay, to start with, you can even start with 1 hour, 1.5 hours, slowly you can extend it to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I feel if you are able to maintain 3 hours of preparation apart from the classes that you are having, then I think you are in a very good position. I don't know when you are going to do it. You can do it from morning 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, or you can do it from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So the time can be completely according to your convenience. But the thing is that you have to do something so that your preparation is consistent enough to do the process. So as I've told you, be regular in classes, write the notes which is clear enough, have the effective revision strategy, and I think we have discussed enough about it. So revision is the most important thing I feel. So while doing the revision, ensure that you are writing the short notes. See, more you are able to relate one subject with the other, because when you are writing your short notes and you are studying another subject, then you will try to relate whatever short notes you have written for the previous subject and the subject that you are undergoing. So if you are able to relate the things, your concept is going to be much better when compared to you completely forgot about one particular subject and you are going into the other. So I feel if you are able to relate one subject with the other, you will be more confident about your concepts. So that is how you can develop your concept according to me. Second thing is about the logic, that I told that logic is very important. Now again, the most important reference book, your class notes that you're going to write. Because in classes what we are going to do? We are going to discuss the concepts, and after the concepts we are going to solve the problems, isn't it? That is what you're expecting me to do. That we are going to discuss the concepts, and after the concepts we are going to solve the problems. So we will be seeing different levels of problems in the class itself. So that is going to be your very first reference book. The class notes that you are going to write is going to be the most important reference book that you're going to have. Second thing that you're going to do, as I believe that most of you are having a question bank with you, at least last 10 years. So whatever problems that have been not solved in the classes, ensure that in your free time, you please solve at least the last 10-year papers. And suggestively, it should be multiple streams. I will tell you why I am saying multiple streams. I think most of you know that the GATE examination these days is an online examination. From 2014 onwards, the GATE examination has become online, where there are different slots of examination. What we have observed is that something very interesting and important thing that we have observed. And generally the slots are in such a way that initially we'll have mechanical, after that we are going to have computer science, instrumentation, electronics and communications, electrical, and followed up by the civil engineering. So what we have seen is that, for example, there are questions based on which general aptitude and mathematics are framed in mechanical. Based on the same topics and same model itself, it has been asked in the other streams. So what concepts from where the questions have been asked in mechanical, the similar concept problems have been asked in general aptitude and engineering mathematics in the other streams as well. And it is because of the simple reason that whoever are going to create the questions for engineering mathematics or be it general aptitude. Why I am saying engineering mathematics and general aptitude is because it is common for all the streams. But there will be some more common subjects if you take mechanical and civil. There are subjects like SOM, there are subjects like engineering mechanics, which is common, fluid mechanics, which is common. And when it comes to the circuit streams, electronics and communications, instrumentation, right, electrical, and even CS, there is a one common subject called as digital electronics. And for ECWIN, you have plenty number of subjects which are common, like analog, signals and systems, network theory, control systems. So there are so many common subjects. So whatever I'm talking is about the common subjects, right? So one or two common subjects which we have for all the streams are nothing but engineering, mathematics, and general aptitude. So whatever topics that have been covered in the very first streams in the GATE examinations, there is a link with the other streams. That is why I recommend you to solve the problems which are multiple streams. It will help. So at least you and try to, I don't know how much time you have. More the problems you solve, more is the confidence level. So whatever your time is going to permit, you try to ensure that you cover the last 10-year problems as fast as possible. Okay, so after doing this, you can write the tests. We have chapter tests, we'll have subject tests, and we'll have multi-subject tests. So to write the exams, and that is what you have to do, nothing else. Okay, so while you are doing the logic, how to improve the logic? Solve problems that we have done in the class. So when I have given a problem to solve for you in the class, ensure that you are not waiting for me. You try to solve the problem on your own. Maybe whatever approach you have done, I'm going to give a better approach or the approach 2. So you'll have multiple approaches of solving the problems in that way. So solve the problems in the class and go home, solve the last 10-year problems. And if time permits, ensure that you even go ahead and solve 30-year problems. You have different books available in the market. You can even go through the GATE Academy study material that you're going to have. So at least if you are able to do these two things and then write the test. Chapter test, subject test, sectional test, if you are able to write, then that should be more than sufficient. Because your calculations you are going to take care when you are doing the problems itself. Calculation is not something which is different. If you are more attentive in nature, you will do less number of calculation mistakes. And if you are having further more problems, you are doing silly mistakes, when you are writing your test series, you can ensure that you are reducing the silly mistakes as much as possible. So as of now, to start with, your focus should be more on concept and then logic. Even if you are doing mistakes as far as calculations are concerned, that is completely fine. But as of now, it should be more on the concept and the logic. Okay, so this is the process. So two things that are very, very important over here is that one is revision, the second thing is practice. These are most important things in the GATE preparation. And to do these things and to have required amount of time, you require consistency. So you should be consistent in preparation. If you see any topper, irrespective of which stream he is from, irrespective of whether it is from GATE or any other exam, you will observe that they are consistent enough. They are motivated enough to continue the preparation and take it to the another level. Please don't get complacent enough. Okay, so 3-hour class is done. I got a satisfaction, so I'm going to leave here. It should not end there. You have to solve problems and you have to make maximum utility of the time that you're having. So there is I can see a particular response that 3 hours after the class is enough. That's completely fine. If you are able to ensure there is a 3 hours of preparation on daily basis, nothing else is required. And what you have to do, this is the strategy by which you have to approach the GATE examination. It is not so difficult. You have to, if there is a target which is difficult, you can make it easy by breaking it into step by step. And that is what I'm trying to do over here. I'm trying to break the target that you're having in front of you into step by step. First thing, attend classes, write the clear notes, try to revise on regular basis, then write the short notes, try to solve as many number of problems as possible. And take tests, because while writing tests, something that comes into the picture is that within short span of time or within the confined amount of time, whether you are able to solve the problems or not. Maybe when you are practicing it on your own, probably you will be investing some 15 minutes or 20 minutes for a single problem. But when you go for tests, you will not have that particular leverage. You have to solve the problems as quick as possible. I'm sure you are able to understand what I'm trying to say. So this is something that you have to ensure, and more attentive you are in the class, lesser the effort that you are going to put when you're doing the self-preparation. Right? And one more thing I wanted to tell, because we're going to interact, we're going to learn the concepts. Maybe for the next 3 months, you're going to have engineering mathematics classes. So how we are going to do the classes, I'll just tell you a very important thing, so that we don't have any communication gap in the middle. Sometimes students complain, sir, everyone's doubt is taken care, but my doubt is not taken care. You might have some sort of issues, but let me tell you my perspective. Because I can see so many number of students attending the class, so it is expected that you're going to have multiple number of questions. So the way it has to be is that when the concept is going on, there is a flow, right? There is a flow of presentation. And if I ask you to ask your questions, whatever problems you're having, you can definitely ask. But generally, when there is a flow that is going on, it is suggested that you're not going to interrupt the faculty when it is going on. Because when you do it, it means that everyone is going to do it. Okay, I can see a crowd of around 100. So everyone is going to do it. And it means that we cannot go ahead. We cannot have that natural flow going ahead. It means that it can become complicated. I have a suggestion. So what you can do is that, I know when the concepts are going on, it is genuine enough that you are going to get the doubts. And some of the doubts, when you listen carefully, then many of the doubts are going to get resolved going ahead. But still, you have a habit of writing your notes, writing your doubts somewhere in the middle. And when I give a doubt solving session, we will definitely have the doubt solving session. Either in the mid break, we will be giving our mid break around 7:30. So probably around 7:20, I will be asking you to ask your queries, whatever are there. And then when we start the lecture, and again around 8:45 or 8:50, I will be asking you to once again ask the doubts. So you can note down the doubts, whatever you are having, and ensure that you can ask at that particular point. I'm 100% sure that I'm going to clear whatever doubts you're going to have with you. So if you are able to follow this thing, then I feel that there will not be any communication gap between you and me, and we can make the most of the time that we are having. So if there are more interruptions in the middle, then the flow is going to be not there. And one more thing that I wanted to tell. See, I'm very happy to repeat as many times as possible, but the advantage that you have in the recorded class is that, for example, if you feel that you are not very strong in grasping the things, okay, some students will be not very strong, but let me tell you, GATE examination is meant for those students, okay, who can even are slow in listening, are slow in learning. It doesn't mean that who are quick to give answers in the class or quick to understand the things in the class are only the people who are going to get the GATE rank. It is not the case. Even if you feel, because naturally some people have this particular problem of understanding it slowly. So in that case, you have to compensate either by solving more problems or attending the lecture once again wherever you're having a problem. So saying that, okay, the lecture has been completed for half an hour and then you are asking to repeat it once again. I'm sure that many people are not going to do that, but some people are going to do that. So in that case, I will be suggesting you to see the lecture once again. So if it is for 2 minutes, then it's completely fine for me to repeat it once again. But in the interest of the student itself, it is not so recommended that whatever I've done before, again I have to do the same thing. Okay, so what I suggest is that in that particular case, you can see the recorded class, what is available after the class. Maybe after the class is going to end around 9. So maybe by morning itself, you will be having the recorded class. I'm not very sure about the time, but definitely by the next day itself, it is going to be available for you. Right, so that is something that I felt that we have to be discussing, and both of us have to be agreeing on the same note. And remaining things, whatever are there, we can go ahead and see if there is any problem. But I'm sure that we will not have any problems. So meanwhile, I see so many number of questions which are not relevant with the top engineering mathematics. Some students are asking about backlog. Some students are asking about how to balance the things. Okay. So we definitely have the time to do that. So initially we will be discussing about engineering mathematics, And in the middle, when we get bored or whenever we have time in the middle, I'll definitely take your other general doubts that you have regarding the GATE examination. Clear? So we will go and start discussing about the engineering mathematics. So the very first question that comes to mind regarding the engineering mathematics is that why engineering mathematics is kept in your syllabus? What is the reason why? It is not part of mechanical, it is not part of civil, it is not part of electronics and communications, it's not part of electrical, computer science, instrumentation. It is a general subject. Just like general aptitude, engineering mathematics, they are common for all the streams. So because I am taking the subject of engineering mathematics, so I am curious to know from you that why this particular engineering mathematics is kept in your syllabus. I once again want to repeat that I have seen so many queries which are general in nature. I'm not going to take those doubts as of now. Please keep your whatever doubts you are having copied, so that later on when I ask you, request you to do that, you can definitely do at the right point. So there is the answer that for the question that I've asked, that we use it to get many derivations. Mathematics is a tool for analysis and science because this is the easiest one. Good. Many topics from engineering mathematics are used in other subjects. Helps to solve equations or other problems in subjects to estimate preciously. Mathematics is a base of all. See, I'm reading, I'm not telling anything, I'm just reading out the responses that I got. And then I think students are going into the technical things, technical aspects that is used in term, etc. Math logic helps in programming. So that's what I meant to say. You're going into the core subjects. Right, I think I completely agree with what you're trying to think. It's completely correct. Basically, when we discuss about engineering, and all of us are in the stream of engineering itself. So, to understand the science, we have to use the tool called as mathematics. And that is why we are learning it. Irrespective of which subject we are going to talk about, definitely somewhere or the other we will have engineering mathematics somewhere around. We'll be having differential equations many of the times. We'll be having matrices many of the times. Similarly, calculus many of the times. So engineering mathematics is one such subject. It is encompassing throughout the science, the field of science. And more strong you are in mathematics, more interested you are in mathematics, better and comfortable you will be feeling in the remaining subjects also. Having said that, it doesn't mean that you are not so good in engineering mathematics. It doesn't mean that you will not do well in the other subjects. It all requires proper intent to learn the content. So once you are serious about learning the things, with some effort you will definitely learn, no matter how difficult it is. It is all the motivation that you're going to have, which is very important. Second thing is that engineering mathematics questions in the GATE examination are going to be not difficult. Many a times it's not going to be difficult at all. It means that engineering mathematics in the GATE examination is going to be one of the top scoring subjects. As far as GATE examination is concerned, this subject is going to be very, very important as far as scoring maximum marks is concerned. That is why engineering mathematics for us is very, very important. Clear? And as I told you, there are so many other reasons why we are learning the engineering mathematics and why it is kept in the curriculum of the GATE examination.